Welcome back to Community Connection. I'm Iowa City Mayor Bruce Teague. While this pandemic has created hardships in so many aspects of our community, we have also seen organizations step up to answer the challenges facing our residents. The need for support is being felt by the nonprofits that serve those most vulnerable during these uncertain times. And that's why the work that the Community Foundation of Johnson County is doing is so important right now. Joining me to discuss those efforts is Executive Director Shelly Maharry. Thanks for joining me,
That's right.
Shelly.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I am so excited to talk to Community Foundation of Johnson County because I know there's a lot that's been happening. I'm happy to say that I'm on the board of directors. And so I have firsthand knowledge of what's happening during COVID-19. But before we go there, again, welcome. And I want you to give us just an update as to what is Community Foundation. Some people don't know anything about the history of 20 years and how you started. So if you can tell us a little bit about Community Foundation.
Sure. Well, Bruce, again, thanks for having the Community Foundation on this program. We're delighted to be a part of this community conversation that you've been having over the past several weeks of organizations and groups that have been helping to get our community through this situation. So we're grateful to be a part of the conversation today. In general, Community Foundation is a 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit organization with a specific purpose of promoting philanthropy in a specific geographic area. And so our focus is solely Johnson County. We are promoters and champions of charitable giving right here in Johnson County. And our beginnings did start 20 years ago. Incidentally, the 2020 is our 20th anniversary year, and we had plans to celebrate that. But like many organizations, those long-term plans for this year are changing and evolving. And so the situation looks a little bit different than what we had anticipated. But the start of the Community Foundation really came out of a great project that was started out of the Community Leadership Program. So if you may recall, the Iowa City Area Business Partnership, formerly the Chamber, has a community leadership program that's been established for more than 30 years. And so the idea of establishing a community foundation 20 years ago came out of that class, out of that project. So we're happy to be continuing the support to the community 20 years later.
Well, happy 20th birthday virtually, and I'm sure that we'll have something in the future to really commemorate the great work of the Community Foundation of Johnson County.
It's been interesting because, when we think about ways to celebrate the Community Foundation, honestly, our ability to help our community address needs and recover from a crisis like this is exactly why the Community Foundation was established. So it's kind of apropos that we're able to do this at this time.
Well, this is certainly in the 20th year a way to really commemorate all the great work that you all are doing, which leads me into asking about during the COVID-19, I know that there's been a lot of needs within our communities, and and I say communities plural because you're of Johnson County, you serve Johnson County. And so I understand that there's been lots of requests coming in, but Community Foundation has found ways to honor and help some nonprofits within our community. If you can talk a little bit about what have you all been doing?
Yeah, well, back in March, about March 16th or so, when we really acknowledged as a community that we are going to be impacted as a country by COVID-19, as a state and as our community, we jumped into action. And when I say we, I mean staff and board of directors. We activated our emergency response fund. And that fund is intended to provide a way for individuals, businesses, families, foundations to give monies to support the needs of the community during a crisis. And so when we activated that emergency response fund, our board of directors committed the very first $25,000 to that fund. And the intention of that fund is to provide emergency grants to nonprofits, schools, and units of government who are experiencing immediate needs directly related to the crisis. And so we activated our fund, started fundraising for those efforts right away. And just a week after we activated, we began accepting applications from those nonprofits who were in need.
I can tell you that just from the people that I know that have been recipients, it's helped out so much in this time where the needs are great. There's so many needs in our community, and it's so awesome that Community Foundation has been able to tap into helping those. But we know that we're in this for a long time, right? This started in March, and I understand we're probably on round 6 or of some project funding. But even with that being said, what is the long-term hope for Community Foundation during this time, as these are not regular routine cycles of funding that you deal with?
Right. Well, we're sort of in this in-between time where we've been addressing immediate emergent needs, and applications have come in for that. And we are really sensitive to the difficult and demanding work that our nonprofits and schools and units of government are doing right now. And so when we put together the application process for these grants, we wanted to make it as simple and easy as possible. So just really extracting the key critical information from the organization about how they've been affected and what the grant will be used for, so that they could really focus on the important work that they're doing versus just completing a lengthy paperwork process for us. So we started with wanting to make sure that we had an efficient process in that regard. And so now we're starting to really look at more long-term recovery situations for these nonprofits. And that really comes keeping into consideration the impacts that they are having. We know our nonprofits between March through the end of the year, there are so many events and activities that our organizations were intending to have that they've either had to cancel or postpone or reschedule, for another time. And ultimately, that's revenue that supports those organizations. So they're assessing, what funds they have available to them. Also, there's been lots of disruption in the services that are being provided and how those organizations are able to deliver those services. There's been additional cost associated with offering improved cleanliness and safety and protection, which is so important.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that creates cost as well. And then we know too, organizations who rely on volunteers, this crisis has created a barrier. So, we know in our community, the heart and soul of a lot of nonprofit work regarding volunteers comes from those who are retired and a little bit older in life, which is a great thing. But that population also was the population that was the most vulnerable. And so some organizations have had to hire staff or pay additional staff that really in other times would have been covered by volunteers. So we know that those are some of the impacts. And I think your specific question was about long-term recovery and sort of the role of the Community Foundation. We will be looking at our granting moving forward. Normally we have our season of granting starts July 1st. And so we'll be assessing our grants process and taking into account the impacts that our nonprofits are having so that we can best marry our grant dollars with what is most needed moving forward.
You're talking about nonprofits and all the challenges that they've been facing. But one of the things I am so proud of is all the innovative things that's being created by our nonprofits to still operate. You mentioned the volunteers. We know that a large portion of the volunteers that's helped some of the agencies that have that you've been in conversation with has been an older population. And of course, during the COVID-19 time, it's probably not the safest for them to be a part of that, to be volunteering. And so people are becoming very innovative of how they can meet the needs of the growing needs of clients. People are creating new programs that they haven't had before to meet the needs of our community. And I'm so happy that the granting process through Community Foundation has really looked at how can we quickly but also responsibly look at how we're utilizing and supporting our community during this time. So thank you for so thank you for all of that. Another question that I kind of want to know is related to, we have people out there that currently donate to the Community Foundation and love the work and the mission. Some people are learning about it today. So we want to take an opportunity to say, this is how you can research and come on and be supportive. So tell us a little bit about how can people become a part of Community Foundation?
Well, I invite everyone to visit our website. That's really the first open door for you to visit the Community Foundation. And our website is www.cfjc.org. And specifically, donors can, at this time, learn more about the work of the Emergency Response Fund. And what I love about that fund is really its ability to have collective impact. So no matter the gift size, whether it's small or large, gifts are all pooled together for the purpose of making those grants to nonprofit organizations. And the other thing that I love about this program is the monies that go out to fund those grants are going directly to support the nonprofit for the need that they told us they had most. So we know exactly what those monies will be used for, and they've been prioritized to make the biggest impact and the biggest difference to that nonprofit organization. You know, I would say that the Community Foundation is really in a unique spot in our community because we are a champion for all charitable giving. No matter if your interests are arts or culture, health, arts, animals, human services, you name it, there's a place for everyone here. And so I would also offer the sentiment that if you have a nonprofit, an organization that you are passionate about, please consider making a gift to them directly if you haven't done so already. Our community will need all of us doing our very best to support each other. And no matter what the form of that is, it's all welcome.
The gamut of the services and that is offered through Community Foundation, the arts, and even animals. Right now we had on the animal shelter here, and they talked about the needs of the animals and how our community is reaching out and taking in more adoptions. Their numbers are so down compared to, so there's ways to contribute, as you stated, directly to the nonprofits of your choice or to organizations of your choice. If you can volunteer, we realize that there are still need for volunteers in our community. Many of our organizations are being so innovative and diligent in safety that there's ways for people to do that. But again, Community Foundation is one way where people can bring their gifts and definitely be used within our community during this time. And I so appreciate the opportunity that is given to our organizations where they can quickly, be innovative with some of the funds and get it out to those that need the services or the goods. And so thanks again for that.
Sure. Yep. It's our pleasure. Our tagline, so to speak, at the Community Foundation is connecting those with care, connecting those who care with those who need. And we really find this particular time is our ability to express that sentiment in real life. So as donors have interests and want to know more about the needs of the community, we're here for everyone to explore that and connect their passion and interest with the charitable opportunity within Johnson County.
Awesome. Well, I want to say thank you, because I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I want to know, is there anything else you want to share out there with people that are watching today?
I think I would just want to share, one, how much I know we as staff at the Community Foundation and other community members, how much we miss seeing and being involved with the other work that's happening in the community, whether it's attending events or being part of programs. We just miss everyone so much and look forward to the time when we can all be together again. But until that time, it's going to be really imperative for all of us as a community to find opportunities for us to work together and to collaborate. I think long-term recovery from this will be just that. Will be long-term and take collaboration and partnership and innovation to find new ways of doing things and new partnerships that we have this unique opportunity to take advantage of in spite of this difficult time.
Well, you all have certainly jumped in right away, being creative and figuring out how can you adjust your normal processes to meet the needs of our community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And you're right. We're at a place where we have to rethink about COVID-19 and coexist with it. That's one of the terminologies I've been using. We're at a place where we're going to have to coexist with COVID-19. So with that being said, you all are coexisting with COVID-19. We miss seeing everyone in person, as you mentioned, but definitely safety is very valuable at this time.
That's right.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being with me today. And I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
Sounds great. Take good care.
Yes, you as well. You can keep up to speed on city news and closures related to COVID-19 by visiting icgov.org/coronavirus. We post daily about city response efforts and share medical resources. We'll be back next week with more Community Connection. This is the Memorial Day weekend, and I want you to enjoy it, but I also want you to practice some safe social distancing and wear your mask. Be safe, Iowa City, and happy Memorial Day.